Right, here I've just built the filter box and make sure it fits properly and it's nice and square. Here I've just put the spillway in, which is made out of plywood, and gluing it in and banging it in with nails and reinforcing the actual filter box. So the wood we're using is treated wood, 22mm thick, and I've reinforced the actual sides and bottom with an extra layer of wood to add extra strength. And obviously we've got some square pieces of wood at both ends to increase rigidity in the construction. Here I'm just making sure the egg crates fit properly and giving myself a rough idea how the egg crates would fit into the filter box. Here I'm just double checking it actually fits correctly and it's nice and secure, that spillway. I've just put down some underlay to protect the liner before we put the liner down. Here I'm putting a tank connector through onto some liner that I've put into the filter box. I'm just using some expanding foam around the back of a bit of pipe just to make sure it's secure in the filter box. And as you can see, I'm just making sure there's enough foam on there. Here I'm filling up the filter box with the liner in there just to make sure there's no leaks. And here I've attached the liner to the spillway and obviously glued it in with some adhesive. Here I'm just contemplating what sort of pipes I'm going to be using, so just making sure they're long enough and they fit. So I've just installed a second tank connector into the filter box and a 90-degree bend, and I foamed it in, and then I just need to install a ball valve. I'm using some cement to glue it in place. We've put a bit of pipe in between as well, and then I've just attached a hose tail here, and then we can attach a flexible pipe whenever we need to. If I want to empty the filter box and get rid of the dirty water, put it to a drain somewhere, and that'll give me the option of cleaning it out whenever I need to. You know, from time to time you need to clean the sponges out and clean the gravel and the media from time to time, and you know, having a ball valve you know, there where I can drain the filter from time to time is a good idea.
Right, here's the filter box, guys. I just wanted to show you around it. Hopefully you can see I've got some lava rock. It's not great quality if I'm honest with you, but I've put it around the filter box here just to secure the bin in place. So let's just take the lid off. Okay, take the lid off, and we've got lots of sponges here. These are typically replacement sponges that you would find in pressurized units. You can pick these off eBay really cheap. So first thing I did is I cut two pieces of normal foam that I've got so it fits the hole. Then I got a bit of this standard filter material. Forget what they call it, but it's just like a foamy material that you put in, that you'll put in your filters or aquariums. Okay, so obviously I've got a fair few here. So that's 1, 2, 3, and 4, and the fifth one at the bottom. So as you can see, I've got a hose tail coming out the flange tank connector that runs into this box with a tiny bit of that PVC flexible pipe. And basically the water will flow in here, and obviously you can see I've got lots of various holes screwed into the actual bedroom bin that I'm using as my filter, and basically the water will come into here, go through the holes and flow down the length. So if I just deconstruct this area here so you can see, so I'll just take these brushes out. So those are the brushes. So we've got 4 levels of Japanese matting here. So I've got one there and one there, and then one on the bottom. If I just lift this up, you'll be able to see. So I've got a little bit of Japanese matting there and a bit of foam there just to fill in this area, and that's how this filtration will happen. So basically the water will spill into here, go through the holes, flow down there, through this Japanese sponge matting, and this is all the mechanical filtration. And then the biological filtration will happen in that area.
So for the wetland filter for the bacteria to live on, I've got some large 40mm coloured stone, as well as some 30mm lava rock, some Scottish pebbles which are between 10 and 20mm, and also we've got some pea gravel which is really small, that'll go on the top. Here I'm just making sure that the pipes will fit in place. I've got some bigger I think it's 50mm pipes put in place to support the actual gravel and stone. But here I decided that perhaps I needed a bit more support, so I put some pieces of pipe that were lying around just to support the stone. And now I've put all the egg crates in place, make sure they fit properly, that they're not damaging the liner in any way, and make sure that they're nice and fitted correctly. Here I put the large rocks in place, making sure that there's voids obviously underneath, which has been created by the pipe, as well as there's voids in between the stones so the water can flow up and filter through the stone. Here we've got the lava rock in place on top of obviously those large pebble stones, and make sure there's also gaps in between the lava rock as well. So I'm just showing you a closer look here where you can see how I've positioned the lava rock, and the anaerobic bacteria will live in the lava rock and its nooks and crannies, and it'll be happy there. So here we've put the Scottish pebbles on top of the lava rock, just to complete it and give it a bit more surface area, and just to fill the space up before I put the pea gravel on top. And as you can see, it's obviously filling up the wetland filter quite nicely there. So obviously the next stage is to put the pea gravel in there, make sure it's in there correctly and level, and that we've got enough of it in there, but we don't want too much in where it might actually flow into the actual spillway. I put a bit of Scottish pebble at the end where the Japanese matting is, just to stop that pea gravel falling over and basically cascading into the actual filter area, which I don't want to happen.
So guys, I thought I'd give you a closer look of the filter box. As you can see, it's more or less how it's looking.
So here is a time lapse of me putting the plants into the pea gravel. That's why I've put the pea gravel in there, taking as much soil out as possible, because I want the roots to take the nutrients out of the filter box, and that will deal with the nitrates and the ammonia, and create the cycle where all the nastiness will be taken out of the water and filtered. So basically you've got your anaerobic bacteria in the stone that's dealing with the nitrates, and then your plants are dealing with the ammonia. Essentially it's an ecosystem designed to try and basically take all the nastiness out of the water and keep it pure and purified. So here you can see the plants in place, the fibre optic plant, lots of grasses and irises, and some creeping jenny in there as well. And you can always add extra plants later on as well. And in the end I ended up putting a stainless steel spillway in there in the end. Thanks for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and like the video. Please go to the description box for any possible links that may be related to this video, including the stainless steel spillway. And thanks for watching.